Per recent reports from a Miami Heat legend, both Giannis Antetokounmpo and Anthony Davis are interested in joining the Miami Heat. Should the Miami Heat do this? What type of trade package would they need to make this happen? Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe as we are about to push to 6,000 subscribers. Now that we got that out of the way, let's go on another Miami Heat Talk adventure.
That is enough said.
What's up, Heat Nation? Happy Thursday, guys. Hope everyone's having a great day so far. Now, before we get started with today's episode, I just want to take a moment to thank you guys. I gave you a challenge yesterday. I challenged you guys that if you were able to get me to 100 likes on yesterday's episode, that I would give a shout out on today's episode. And you guys crushed that. We have 122 likes so far, and it's still growing. So again, thank you guys. And because of it, I'm going to give someone a shout out. Now, there was a lot of comments yesterday. I wanted to pick a lot of them, but one of them that stands out was from my boy, Petar Petrov. I don't know if it's Petar or Peter. Let me know. Petar Petrov 3875. Great supporter on this channel. Is usually commenting on all my videos. You the real MVP, my guy. But he said something that I felt was really great. As yesterday's episode, I was talking about the potential of trading for either Giannis or Kevin Durant. And if you didn't see that episode, make sure to check that one out after this one. Petar writes, 100% agree with you, Ernest. KD absolutely realistic, and I would like it, and everyone should, because he will improve this team. Will they win a championship? Hardly, but the team will improve for sure. To all the Giannis enjoyers, don't get me wrong, I'm trading my kidney for him right now, but 0% chance. He has zero power to tell the Bucks where he wants to go. He wants to come to us, and we have 0% chance to compete with the assets that San Antonio, Houston, and OKC have. Always keeping the positivity, but Giannis is just unrealistic. The only way, which is what I'm going to get to later, the only way we can match is if all of our first rounders, Bam Adebayo, and 1 to 2 young assets. He will come here and have no one to play with. And we all know Pat is rather trading his kidney than Bam. So, great comment, Petar. Loved it. Mix of comedy, mix of realism, mix of honesty. I thought it was a great one. Thank you, brother, so much. Thank you to everyone that liked the channel. Give me 100 likes or more on this one, and your comment will be highlighted in tomorrow's video. So, the topic of today's video, you guys, I wanted to talk about something that recently came out on the Dan Lebatard show. Now, for those of you that are Miami Heat fans, I don't need to explain who Dan Lebatard is. Best journalist here in Miami, one of the most popular known. Now, they always like to talk about rumors, stuff that's going on. What did the Miami Heat need to do? They got some great characters on the show. Mike Ryan's one of my favorite. Dude's hilarious. But one of the guys on the show is Jonathan Zaslow, who is apparently a legitimate Miami audio legend. And Jonathan Zaslow on the Dan Lebatard show reported that Anthony Davis and Giannis Antetokounmpo are interested in joining the Miami Heat. Per Jonathan Zaslow, he specifically told Dan Lebatard that both Giannis and Anthony Davis's camp have both reached out to the Miami Heat. Now, is this considered tampering? Is this considered BS? We don't know. But here's the thing. Dan Lebatard would not allow something like this to be on his show if there wasn't a fathom of truth to it. And that's the thing, guys. There's certain people that you listen to that report Miami Heat stuff that you need to take with a grain of salt. But then there's some people that report stuff from the Miami Heat that when you hear it from them, you need to listen. Guys like Ira Winderman, Ethan Skolnick, Barry Jackson, Anthony Chang. But more importantly, Dan Lebatard. He's been tied with the team for over 30 years now. He works directly with Pat Riley. There's been a lot of times, especially in the 2015 off season, where the whole Dwayne Wade and Pat Riley contract situation was going on to the point where Dan Lebatard was reporting things for Pat Riley and Ethan Skolnick was reporting things for Dwayne Wade. So if Dan Lebatard is allowing this to be said, you guys, I know that there's some truth to it. Now, we've talked about Giannis before. And I'm going to get to him in just a moment. But the first person that I want to talk about is Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis, who is 32 years old. He still has 3 years remaining on his contract that will pay him to his 34th year, making $54 million next year, $58 million, and a $62 million player option for the 2028 season. This is a guy who, yes, is a great player, all-star level, superstar level player even. But we all know the case with Anthony Davis. So many injuries. So many injuries, man. You look at Anthony Davis's numbers, you guys. He averaged about 25 points a game, 12 rebounds. This is a guy who is a beast. He's averaged these same numbers through his last 4 years. Last season was a great year. 25 points, 12 rebounds. So we know what Anthony Davis brings. We know that Anthony Davis is a good player to trade for. However, due to his age, due to the contract, and due to the injury history, I'd stay away from him. And I'm sure all Heat fans would agree. Unless Dallas is willing to take a package surrounding Andrew Wiggins, Terry Rozier, Duncan Robinson, a few of the assets like Khalil Ware, Jaime Jaquez, Nikola Jovic, throw in some draft picks. But we know Dallas is not going to want to do that. They just landed the first overall pick. So they're looking to either build around Anthony Davis or Kyrie Irving or trade that number 1 pick for the next guy I'm going to talk about, Giannis. Now, I know that Giannis has interest in coming to Miami, and I know Miami has interest in Giannis. And the reason why I know Giannis has interest in Miami is for a few things. One, great relationship with Pat Riley. Spo's the coach, and for those of you that think Spo's a bad coach, I really don't know what to tell you because the resume proves itself. Spo is one of the best coaches in the NBA. Let's get that straight. But you also have no state income taxes. And that's something that Giannis has mentioned in the past. And that's something that's recently came out. That Giannis wants to go to a team, well, if he does want to be traded, apparently, he wants to go to a team where there's no state income taxes. And the two states right now that are vying to trade for him is Texas and Florida. You have 3 teams in Texas. You have the San Antonio Spurs, the Houston Rockets, and now you got the Dallas Mavericks, who have the number 1 pick. They can easily hit up Milwaukee and offer some of these picks. Houston, Houston, Dallas, and San Antonio, they're all picking in the top 10, I believe. So, and Houston has a plethora of first-round draft picks. So they're going to have a lot more ammunition to offer for Giannis Antetokounmpo. Now, I will say this, you guys. The Miami Heat can be players for Giannis. They really can, because like I've mentioned yesterday, you guys, and like I've mentioned before, this is the first time in the offseason where the Miami Heat is going to have so much flexibility. You're going to have all 3 things that teams are looking for. You're going to have contracts that are expiring. You're going to have cap relief. You're also going to have young assets. You're going to have draft picks, multiple, up to 3 first-round draft picks that you can include for a Giannis trade. But what Miami really needs to decide, if they want to get Giannis, you guys, they need to possibly offer Bam Adebayo. Because I look at all these trades, you guys, and I'll be honest, I mean, the 3 Texas teams, any of them can get Giannis. San Antonio has the 2nd pick. They also have Victor Wembanyama and De'Aaron Fox. Add Giannis to that, scary. Dallas has the number 1 pick. They can offer that. Does Dallas want to do that, or do they want to draft Cooper Flagg? Houston has a bunch of young players, a bunch of draft capital. Miami Heat's in play. But what Miami Heat would need to do, if they really want to get Giannis Antetokounmpo, is offer Bam Adebayo. And I mentioned in my video recently that I think that Giannis would want to come here because Bam is here. And I still believe that. But at the end of the day, players don't always get what they want. And a team surrounded Giannis Antetokounmpo and Tyler Hero is a good team. Look at this Miami Heat team right now, you guys. If you take Bam out and add Giannis in, different team. I love Bam. I love what Bam can do. Bam is one of the most versatile defenders in the NBA. He can guard positions 1 through 5. But offensively, there's no comparison. Giannis is head and shoulders above Bam Adebayo. Giannis will do something that Bam cannot do for Tyler Hero, which is create another scoring threat. You saw what teams were doing to Tyler. They were picking on him. They were double teaming him on defense, and they were attacking him on the pick and roll when the teams were on offense. You have Giannis out there, things change. He's a better player than Bam Adebayo. We know this. Giannis is an MVP quality caliber player. Bam Adebayo is an all-star player. But I think a trade surrounding Bam Adebayo could work. If you offer Milwaukee Bam Adebayo, Terry Rozier for cap flexibility, or Duncan Robinson. You also include Jaime Jaquez Jr., Nikola Jovic, 3 future first-round draft picks. Now you can include Giannis Antetokounmpo with Kel'el Ware, Tyler Hero, and Davion Mitchell. And that is your building block. That is a good starting caliber team. You have, if you're able to keep Andrew Wiggins becomes your starting small forward. Next to Giannis and Tyler, I like that. Then you can create your bench. You can bring back Alec Burks. You can go ahead and use your mid-level exception to sign a quality 6-man player. You're going to have Drew Smith coming back. You have Haywood Highsmith. Kevin Love's coming back, even though he doesn't add much, but still, you're going to have cap flexibility in the offseason to get a few players to build around that. So I think if Bam Adebayo is the key for the Miami Heat to get Giannis Antetokounmpo, I would be willing to do that. Anthony Davis? No. I'll be honest with you guys. Anthony Davis, if it's Andrew Wiggins, Duncan Robinson, Jaime Jaquez Jr., throw in Nikola Jovic and 2 future first-round draft picks to get Anthony Davis. To play alongside Bam Adebayo and Tyler Hero, I'd be willing to do that. But for Jonathan Zaslow to come out here and say that both Anthony Davis's camp and Giannis Antetokounmpo's camp have contacted the Miami Heat tells me that the Miami Heat are going to be players this offseason. We know an upgrade is needed. We know change is needed. Let's see what Pat Riley and the Miami Heat team do. So let me know what you think, Heat Nation. Do you think that the Miami Heat are actually going to be able to trade for a Giannis or Anthony Davis? Do you think Kevin Durant's a better option? Or do you think this team is just going to run it back or blow it up? Let me know in the comments your thoughts, guys. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe as we continue our push for 6,000 subscribers. We are literally right there. Hopefully we can get there by the weekend. Appreciate everyone's support. And until next time, your boy Ernest out. And that is enough said.